Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
Light, red line, red room. Heart is hard and it don't let love in. Drain the blood, replace its walls with rigid, engineered Kevlar skin. Bulletproof, black to red emoji, bone dry, stoned, designation. Issues? I got issues. My issues got issues. Red flags, delicate emotional mess, crying about nothing. Delicately, red mind theory, spastic, critical thinking, lacking, didactic, stupid, fantastic, humid, hardened, viscous, diverted version therapy, sweat, plasmatic, wicked, ingratiating, sanguinate, 5 in the morning already ain't great. Red tape, depression, rain, wet brain, ingrained, traumatic, homicidal, dreamscape horrors from the previous night, reality unreal in a world that ain't even ever half right. Red sky, time marginalized, counterclockwise, upset, conceptualized, dumb, concept, contextualized, scum, context, trauma elicits artistic reticence. To wit, I create masterpieces in the steam on the shower door while I wait for the air to get hot as hell. Highways float, dissection shell, pictogram, photograph, vision quest, mental masturbation, life, wrath. The deepest truths cannot be put into words. The feels, emotions, tangible rules, snapshots, tempered glass, sketchbook, instamatic, scrapbook, pasted, painted, floors, tainted, red blood, dropping, pores, razor edge, ice cold, directional heat, so clean, so neat. I hurt myself because I feel the need to feel. And we accommodate me graciously, sharpen, sweet cuts in a line, tallies of ordered depth, upside down, dying deep to the top of FDR's head until I leak satisfaction, but not deep enough to die. Red eyes, accumulate scars, assimilate galactic outline, star constellations, articulate signs, concentrate on the pain. As a result of the pain, all the pain collaborates and I whine just a little bit. A consummate professional, switching up substances, whiskey, fine, depressive deviation, red pill, blue pill, delineate, disseminate, sing and pinch before they invigorate, elaborate, taking me to shadow places, adjacent fear and hate. We innovate the ways we make me bleed. Red, demon, spirit, and me. There is no love in this heart. Now I just bleed. 1234, Shannon, passed on Vinegar Hill, collapsed, tailgate and airstream to watch the road reflected back on its fat, shiny ass, prolapsed asphalt. Time continued, convoluted signs point to exit 65. Enter episode live on the road, ghetto motel manifesto. Stories made to be told. Rabid dog, safe, stale, unconscious, bug, snug, rugged, needle dream, sleep frequencies, nightmares, detail, past inequities, incongruencies, condensed to 432 hertz of black, static, drone, ambiguity. Dope dreams. The syringe is empty, leaving him screaming, leaning toward procession or confession, recollection on definitively horrible indiscretions. And he wakes up wet and shaken, but straight. There is hip hop created in Cherry Valley that the establishment doesn't want you to hear. It tells the truth. And I listen at night because they don't know what my ears do when the day ends and the night comes through. Tonight, there's a wife on the shore of Lake Michigan who misses her husband. He left nearly 5 years ago, walked out the door. Neither of them can remember exactly why. Who was right, who was wrong doesn't exactly matter anymore. While he dreams, she spends her time rock hunting on the northwest side of town. Concrete jungle, gutter snipes bleed her dry daily in exchange for the collected works of unknown Colombian jungle labor, arm and hammer, and nearly 50 years of obscenity. Do you believe in debauchery? She is her and he. Graciously, I died before and came back adjacent in a parallel reality, dimensional security. I am not the same as I was before. Restrung vibrational frequency, same 432 hertz, same static, see nothing hurts more. It's a pain today to struggle at where I am, where to go, how to be me. Dope dreams and memories happen when I sleep. Post-traumatic stress acronym, tack on a D, mimic, cognizant, chameleon, dissident, hide us all. 1, 2, 3. When I shut my eyes, I see shades of emerald green, non-sequential, dead president flash against lids lapped tight. I am conditioned to imagine living high in a neighborhood with grandiose streets paved in gold, city light, diamonds, garnet signs to illuminate onyx nights until morning Stockholm syndrome sets in, 6 or 7 hours past standard time zone, 0 time, and the sunrise shines, patina polished capitalist tin. Casual Tuesday morning macerates ego and cortisol into comforting blue box blues with savvy Magoo, chilling in the midst of 71 howling riffs. Average Americans killing time, breathing, drinking tea and bubbled water instead of smoking and swilling wine. Talking about the potential return of dirt in the skirt peaches, talking murals, talking rhymes, talking beautiful girls of days past, future, music, talking frequencies of immediacy, talking about how my mind associates talking elephants and Tom Tom Club to stop making sense, thinking tangentially, joining the decades between Tina Weymouth and Victoria DeAngelis, while managing to say locked in ego and self-obsessed, before heading out into a downpour to assist other first angels as they hiss. Somehow the street doesn't seem as small on nights when the rain transforms asphalt skin from matte to flash. A poet reads work written on the back of several secondhand Yahtzee scorecards, verse scrawled in red ink, hopeless stanzas flank a highlighted quote from Israeli conservative politician Moshe Feiglin, gleaned from a Jerusalem newscast from the same day or the day before, Channel 14, and I quote, "The enemy is not Hamas, nor is it the military wing of Hamas. Every child in Gaza is the enemy. We need to occupy Gaza and settle it, and not a single Gazan child will be left there. There is no other victory," end quote. The poet weeps as she reads the script, somewhere other than with me. And even if no one cares, she reads about history repeating itself. Average Americans listen without hearing, captivated, waiting to move, blind-eyed, ignorant, complicit to genocide. Palestinian, American Indian. Same larceny, same sin, nothing is new.
There's a quote that says, "She overthinks because she was underloved," and I overthink, not because I want to, but because I was wired that way, conditioned or programmed, you could say. Why am I even writing this? Like, who even cares? This is too much. Maybe I should just delete it, but I can't, because this is my truth. My story, I was underloved. And that kind of damage consistently screams, you're too much, you're not enough, you're a disappointment, you're worthless. And it all began with my mom. You're too loud, be quiet. You're too quiet, speak up. You're too emotional, toughen up. You're too tough. What's wrong with you? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Is this making sense? Am I being clear? What if I'm just being dramatic and don't even realize it? I shouldn't share this. Maybe I should just rewrite it. I started balancing between my true self and the version of myself I thought others wanted me to be just to get the kind of love that should have been given without conditions. Shit, even now I'm trying to write it the right way. Like there's a right way to feel, like there's a right way to hurt. If I wasn't enough for my own mother, then the hell could I ever believe I'd be enough for anyone else? Every I love you feels like a test. Every compliment, a setup, and silence feels like punishment. When they go quiet, I assume I did something wrong. I replay conversations like a detective, trying to trace what I missed, what I said that made them stop caring. My every thought has to be vetted, dissected, doubted twice before it even leaves my lips. And even then, did I say it wrong? Did I overshare? Did I not share enough? Here I am, second guessing every sentence, even this one and this one too. I keep going over things in my head like I'm trying to get everything just right, like I'm being tested for a place in my own life, even though I'm already in it, but still don't feel like I belong. I want to explain all this perfectly, but what if I'm misunderstood? What if they think I'm chasing pity? What if I sound bitter? What if I sound broken? And what if I am? It's not fair. It's not my fault. Trauma doesn't ask permission. It just moves in, sets up shop, and builds a home in the weakest parts of your mind. I overthink because the feeling of being overlooked has created a deep need to be understood. I question every gesture because love, when you've only known it with strings, always feels like a trap. But I am here, writing my poetry, mind racing, trying to heal while overthinking whether it even matters, but hoping that maybe someone will read it and see me. I mean, really see me, and just maybe somebody out there will get it and understand. Until then, I'll hold on to the hope that one day I will be loved enough that I am no longer forced to overthink.
For I am experiencing major struggles, a seismic shift created by love to untangle my inner demons. The supreme alchemist works in my eyes and heart so I can see the dawn through this dark maze of anxieties and despair. Fear and loneliness sing sad songs as insecurity and uncertainty hang onto the windows of my future. Me calling on hope to shift this crucible of fire so that the bird of faith will sooner or later ascend on the citadel of my soul. For I am the sons and daughters of tomorrow's sun, glowing with 1,000 beams, yet to remove the veil, casting aspersions on this peerless jewel which I am, the songbird of perennial freedom. Summer's the precursor to autumn, and the cold winter will ultimately fade in the unfurling magnolias of spring. Doesn't the ashen clouds eventually make way for the silvery sky? Isn't the darkness an antecedent to the glorious daybreak? The shooting stars dance, knowing that sunset will herald the sunrise on another golden morn. I am in chains, seeking a beacon of light as in the allegory of the cave, trapped in my self-created tunnel of shadows. Yet the beloved beckons, the light of the beyond who yearns for me, like the prodigal son, to return home. The breeze of solace embraces me, piercing through my mistiness of sorrows, cascading rays of an illustrious lantern, glowing in the dark, entreating, go on, go on. Hope chants verses of a candescent ray, diligently printing my mind of cobwebs. I need only to let go of the vice of negativity created by demonic flares I see, ears tainted by the venom of toxic fumes hovering through the media, while corporate greed smiles all the way to its foreign banks on my account. Alas, my government is fallible, and even while I scan its thoughts like an X-ray machine, searching for the unlearned lessons of war, love, in its mercy, continues to coax my fallen heart with the sweet sense of jasmines, whispering with Satchmo, it is still a beautiful world. Mother Gaia cries at the feet of my today's demise, yet waltzes upon the bosom of my distant realities, knowing that victory will ultimately dawn. It is not unusual for a bride to be cheerful before the wedding feast. The light of love works its unfathomable mystery, and I know I'll be okay. I fade into a seed and take roots, sprouting into a plant, a tree with branches and foliage, offering my flowers, blossoms, and fruits to the impoverished, so they too may love.
Headlines read, "A young queer Black man is dead." A young queer Black man is dead. Another young queer Black man is dead after being attacked by a group of teenagers who were trying to rob them. Were they trying to rob them, or was this another hate crime? While walking to the train station, or was it most likely running from an angry mob? David Manley was also known by their drag name, Daylicious, is dead at age 23, dead at age 23. Another young Black man dead at the age of 23, and no police report was filed, and no arrests have been made. No arrests, no evidence of the attack was made. After the attack, David was taken to a local ER where they did not admit him. Why did they not admit him? Maybe he would still be here. Maybe here is still better than there. David had bruises all over his body, black and blue, and beaten for being Black and true blue to their identity, and was given a script, a recipe for death and sent home. David died a few days later alone. They were found by a friend too late. Justice is always too late. Justice is erectile dysfunction. Justice is an arrest not making an arrest. Justice is shoot first, ask questions later. Justice is keeping score of another Black body hitting the floor.
My father told me a man stands tall, no matter what. Back straight, voice steady, no room for softness, no space for fear. A man doesn't break, a man doesn't cry, a man carries the weight of the world, and if it crushes him, carries it quieter. So I did. I swallowed my tears, bit my tongue until I tasted blood, held every ounce of fear, anger, and exhaustion, because that's what a man does, right? And if I couldn't, if I cracked, if I faltered, if I bent beneath the weight, then I failed. So tell me, what the fuck is the man? Is it the one who takes every hit and never flinches? The one who grits his teeth and says nothing? The one who suffocates under the weight and calls it duty? Because if that's it, I don't want it. I'm tired. I'm scared. I don't know how to do this. And I hate that I have to say that out loud. I hate that it makes me feel like I'm unraveling. I hate that I'm not like him. Hate that I can't hold the world like he did. Hate that some days I feel fragile. Like one wrong move and I'll shatter. And yet, my daughter doesn't need a man who never breaks. She needs to know she doesn't have to swallow her own pain. She needs to know that love isn't silence, that strength isn't suffering. But does that make me less of a man? What the fuck is a man? Is it the father who works himself into the ground, or the one who kneels beside his kid and says, "It's okay to hurt. I'm here"? Is it the strength to carry the weight alone, or to finally say, "I can't do this by myself anymore"? Is it being the wall or being the wreckage? I don't know. I just know I'm trying. I'm trying to be everything, strong enough, soft enough, there enough, and it's never, ever enough. So tell me, what the fuck is a man?
Most people think the words carpet and rug are interchangeable. The truth is there's a difference. A rug covers an area in a room. A carpet spans from wall to wall, leaving no trace of the floor underneath. The world's largest rug is made of 38 tons of cotton and wool. It took 1,200 weavers to construct, consists of 2.2 billion individual hand-tied knots, and covers 60,600 square feet. But it is still not big enough to cover the area of atrocities America is involved in. Right now, Gaza, Sudan, the Congo, and humanity are being swept under the rug Colored people conflicts covered up to look like dust bunnies and debris. The truth is too big to be covered up, stains too significant to scrub. Too many loose ends to be cut, she won't go easy, in which case they will lay their carpet from border to border. Soon enough, the world will be covered in carpet for imperialists to walk over. If we're not careful, we will all get tangled in a thread of lies, be made into shag carpets to cushion the suffering, so as not to get blood on their feet and turn them into red bottoms, or get splinters on their heels from the bones they hide. There will be no trace of the floor made of the people they walk over, sweeping away enslaved histories, human rights, and genocides, carpet-bound bodies swept under the rug in the rubble they were buried in. They must think it's a magic carpet, that once under the rug we forget the history that they try to whitewash. How many genocides fit under the fabric of this nation? How many bodies fit under the rug? Tripping over her own lies, America is a carpet cleaner, a Stanley steamer. She will vacuum every fiber of our existence right out of history. Carpets can hold 4 times its weight in dirt, which means they can cover up 4 times the trauma, can hide 4 times the tragic in its history. Souls trapped in textiles, walked over with muddied shoes of guilt. And no matter how much of a Dyson or abyssal America tries to be, she will never get the bloodstains out of her rugs. No matter the amount she scrubs or stain remover she applies, no matter the amount she tries to steam out the screams and the cries, no matter the amount of time she tries to beat the murder out of it, there will always be a stench of her barbaric history trapped in the fiber of her being.
Oh, so still excluded. Yes, the AP is still barred with so little regard. May the truth yet be misconstrued. Hey, who farted? And the courts again refuse to state in any way, shape, or form and make the slightest feint toward, do you remember what used to be way back then the norm? Will the Trumpist MAGA fist ever reform? What have we come to this? Will there be no judicial, prejudicial restraint? Are we living in a continuous storm? I state, lest we remember the former glory, the AP shall no longer convey, parlay the story. Look out, this noble effort yet remain stained, unholy, we will not forget. The same. Stints, they would neither bow nor scrape to gain. What the hell do they use for brains? Access to the liar's pit. What has the White House made of it? The Taco Bell may moan and bay, but speaking truth yet? Oh no, dear. There she will not stray, but yield, as feared. He may say the moon is of cheese is made, and some blondie's hot sauce in full tirade, no longer strained by the perfume of truth. No, no, not me. I'd rather have mine flavored with truth. That be catered, spiced with lies, and favored to the favored few by the piping of some leggy, blondish baby Ruth. The White House once habitat of truth. The buck stopped here once upon a time now past, and from the Trumpist all that time has offered crime, crime, crime. It cannot last. Would they not play the Trumpist game and give Mississippi some new name? Ivana's folly bestowed thereon by the woody master quaffed disaster Oberon. Barron's puddle, see the Atlantic still transformed. And when in the storm it shall be renamed by the Trumpter. He had long renowned the Putin slave, shall name each storm a democratic storm like Obama, Carter, Kennedy, Truman. And then after all, DJT, he's only human. No longer served by the weather service. FEMA's boss isn't nervous. He may have forgotten the reason we used to beware of hurricane season. And Tornado Alley's been renamed and now officially christened to someone named Pelosi. So you better listen. Feuding's fun. Feuding's good. I'll chase you around the neighborhood. Keeps me doing things I should. Feuding, manly. Feuding's brave. Soon I'll see that so-and-so and I'll be dancing on his grave. I say he's crazy. He says I'm no fun. He left me all alone. He never stayed and watched me all the way till the show was done. He stood up in my presence. His head, higher than mine. Next time he tries that, I'll have it off and add it to that special collection of mine. And then we'll see who's ahead in prime time. Why, the other day I told a joke and he didn't even laugh. And I'd let him fill the driveway with his Teslas. What a gaffe. He never really thanked me for getting him elected. Sure, I got him a spot in the government position, but he left that sniffing powder everywhere and even refused my position. All that ranting and raving with that fancy chrome chainsaw he was waving, I had them make a golden medal for him with my face so bold and tastefully engraving on him. Yeah, he knows my secret, but since I'm blabbing about him all the time, I told you it didn't matter, 'cause for me, I'm so special. For me, even murder ain't a crime. Feuding's fun. Feuding's good. He's chasing and replacing Republicans still in Congress like he should. Like bankrolling my buddies to keep them all in line. Meanwhile, I'm busy. For me, it's criming all full time. He's made some real distinction. The press will chase him around. Then after a while, he should spill his guts. His body will never be found. 'Cause you know what's what? After all, it's some pretty dark stuff. Just like my buddy Jeffrey with that uselessness is over. Pretty soon you find yourself looking up at Clover.
I know a woman who feels like I do, who got lost in her childhood, born to a mother who never healed her own wounds, who didn't know how to love, leaving her daughter wounded and cradled in chaos, who fell asleep in pain, woke up in confusion, and was taught to mistake abuse for affection. Now she's grown, but the little girl in her never got to heal. She fears nothing, yet fears everything she's capable of. She's afraid to let someone in, to let them just be without spiritually dissecting their soul before they even get a chance to sit next to her. Afraid she'll be like the mom who raised her, afraid of never having a family, of building bridges for everyone but herself, lifting people in love and strength, success, guiding people on their path, and always being the one left behind. She fears people who don't know her but knows someone who matters to her. She fears loving people who wear masks and blame her for seeing through them. She fears being strong because strength means change, and change means leaving, and she grew up being the one left behind. She fears herself, her gift, her fire, her calling, that she might do nothing with it but daydream and drown in excuses. She fears love, not because it's fake, but because she gave it to the wrong ones too many times. She fears communication because she does it so well until someone asks to come in and she freezes. She always has to walk away from the ones who said they stay, who said they would love and never leave, but pack their bags anyways. She doesn't fear wasting time. She fears not being able to forget the memories time leaves behind. She knows it all makes sense, and still it contradicts, because in the same breath that she says she fears everything, she also says if she wants it, she can have it and she will get it. So maybe she doesn't fear fear. Maybe she just needs to learn how to stop fearing herself.
Love's light is an ever-transcending progress, and perhaps one day we'll all come here as beings of light. Watch this space, as they say. Meanwhile, from time immemorial, fathers have assisted in the role of nurturing and caring for their children. They have been looked upon as the backbone of the family, with unyielding strength and firmness, the breadwinner, as well as the one who handled the discipline. All this has had its merits and demerits, and worked excellently on the steady canvas of time. Fathers gave counsel, displayed a steady hand, were the bearers of physical skills in the home when necessary, and a pillar of strength in troubling times. Society has changed, though. Today, a woman also goes to the office, earns a salary, thus easing the wage requirements to run a loving home. Dad takes turn in the kitchen too, carries the child to the supermarket, as well as on the buses via the pram when mom is needed elsewhere. A good father shows the love and concern normally attributed to mothers, and some say that when the dad is constantly active and loving in the home, the family unit becomes stronger and children display higher achievements and virtues. There is no hard and fast rule, though. Kindness takes root in the heart, and empathy blooms in a loving environment as well as the soul. Selflessness burns the flames of abundance and love, and is usually found in both parents in a loving home. Some suffer a harsh upbringing, and so the cycle repeats itself. Yet the seed of the father is in the embryo, just as mom carries the soul bird in her womb. A pure love is devoid of claim and blame, and when godliness is present, parents see themselves only as divine instruments of care, of duty and sacrifice, until the child is grown to become an adult. Alas, attachments very often linger for both, especially mom. When the parents blend well, fathers infuse a great sense of humor and laughter. They contribute to sport, security, shelter, and world affairs, while the woman reciprocates with affection and aesthetic sensuality, like buying flowers, touch, and the soul's intimacy. This is usually accompanied by respect, love, and sacrifice. Overall, in the right environment and circumstance, both parents can manifest the radiance of God's light. Then love, like a garden of flowers or an orchestra of music, becomes a healer to ensure a harmonious meadow of love or a symphony of excellent music.
My ingrown toenail grew back again. I know this familiar feeling at first. Somewhat unbearable with shoes on. The same problematic member as last time. Fed up at the nail salon, they threw up their hands and urged me to go see my doctor. Did not heed this advice. Stupidly waited too long. Gave it a chance to get worse. Warning, do not try this at home. Learning all my lessons the hard way, prompting me to call my podiatrist, who at last visit stuck big toe with massive needle, the most painful way for me to feel no pain, cauterized it after pulling it out and trying to force my eyes to see the trophy, the bloody piece of meat, a claw derived from prehistoric evolution of us, from dinosaurs that did not forget the muscle memory and refused all methods to go extinct. Commands to stop piercing me. Yanked it out with a tool resembling jumbo pliers. Jaded hyper focused on the task at foot. I could tell he had seen much worse than this. Unfazed, side-eyed me, slyly saying, "Remember, I told you that these things grow back sometimes." I remember the day my friend and me came to work, celebrated in other places, but not in this country. She visited me without calling first, just that sharp pain and then that hot flush of unstoppable crimson liquid between my legs. "Run away, avert your eyes, do not look at me. There is everything and nothing to see here." Why was I crying? Because I had enough of this relentless, unwanted house guest of 20 years, refusing to leave. It was long enough to be saddled with the disease of the blood, as it was once called, but the sentiment was unchanged. From the time of Christ to this day, not revered, repellent, remorseful, regrettable day, there I stay, naked, dirty, other women coming in and out of the public restroom, pretending not to see, the bare-assed woman wringing out stains in her hands, in the sink, sobbing, as the unholy water failed to wash away her sin.
The shower knows me. Better than lovers, better than God. It speaks in droplets and sighs, washes my bones in silence, too holy for daylight. Here, the curtain is a chapel veil between me and the world. A threadbare cloth soaked in permission, and here, I'm allowed to unravel. Steam curls like old ghosts, whispers names I've buried in the grout. The drain hums a lullaby in a dialect only my ribs can understand. I pour grief down my spine like shampoo, rinse twice, but it never leaves. My reflection in the glass, warped, fogged, unarmed, asks nothing of me. Not like the one I meet outside. He wants his tie straight, his smile iron crisp. Out there, I wear a smile like a well-tailored lie. It fits like armor, welded from court dates and custody exchanges, stitched together with bedtime promises I don't always get to keep. But here, in the baptism of hot water and memory, I say your name, my daughter's, and it doesn't echo back like an apology. It stays, hangs in the steam like a sunbeam I can almost touch. The shower doesn't ask me to move on. It lets me stall, lets me breathe in the timeline where I still get to tuck her in every night. And when the faucet clicks off, when the cathedral tile falls silent, I press my forehead to the curtain, feel the cool of the world waiting. Between steam and skin, 1,000 versions of me argue in silence. The father, the liar, the dreamer with a burnt out fuse, and when I step through, I'm all of them. Damp and unfinished, carrying the scent of honesty under a clone that says I'm fine. So if you ever wonder where I went, When the smile feels too polished and the jokes come too quick, know this. I left the real me behind the curtain and he's still there, still whispering to the drain.
The artist in me struggles with the mother I am. She questions my artistry, thinks I'm forgetting where I came from. Who I am now doesn't leave much room for any paintbrushes to stretch its belly across the canvas. I think she wishes to relinquish me from all she's taught me, threatens to keep her Pantones to herself. I say I love her. I really do. But it's not the same as it once was. Covered in fabric and colors, these days I'm covered in loathing, in paint without the tea. And what a perfect muse for an artist, if only we had time to discuss it over dinner, or a phone call, even a text. She's constantly screaming at me in a language I used to know. I used to know creativity, met her siblings of pencils and markers, made from her family tree. I used to draw like them, paint like them. We never mix pigment the way we've come to mix emotions. My baby can hold crayons now, and her scribbles jog my memory. I remember when I first met the artist in me. We met similarly. The second I was able to hold a crayon, I never let go, and we grew into pencils and markers and pens and brushes and fabric. My creativity grew from brainwaves to tsunamis, and she taught me to have a colorful thumb, which is to say anything I touch would become art. And this is where we've come to a rift. She doesn't understand. I touched my body and created a baby, the most colorful thing I've ever made. And if that's not art, then what is?
When routine bites hard and ambitions are low, and resentment rides high, but emotions won't grow, and we're changing our ways, taking different roads. Waking up every day with an anchor of dread holding me from wanting to step out of the bedroom, fearing the looming outcome of emotional Russian roulette. The normalization of instability had finally taken its toll. 4 years, 4 months of a failing relationship riddled with fear, anxiety, depression, self-loathing, and miscommunication was coming to a head. We both knew a storm was coming. We just had no idea how damaging it was going to be. We were as ill-prepared ending this journey as we were when we started. If Murphy's Law manifests itself into relationship, this was it. This was us. This was our reality. We are both held responsible for the creation of this black hole that has dawned in the presence of where a fiery passion once thrived. Why is the bedroom so cold? You turned away on your side. Is my timing that flawed? Our respect runs so dry. Yet there's still this appeal that we kept through our lives. We've waited nearly a decade for our love to finally blossom. Our chemistry was undeniable, or so it seemed. Like all promising scientific theories, this hypothesis needed to be put to the test. The unique set of obstacles we conquered made us believe infinitely that the catch was going to be worth the chase. Yet reality didn't meet expectations for the both of us. Yet we clung onto hope like the face paint we wore in public, the belief that our efforts were not in vain, that we would not succumb to the wounds in the battlefield of our love. Do you cry out in your sleep? All my failings exposed. There's a taste in my mouth as desperation takes holds, yet there's something so good that just can't function no more. Unresolved trauma before and during this relationship had a way of undoing our sutures every time the opportunity presented itself. Now that the war is over, we can finally heal. However, we can now bear the scars of our past that the naked eye cannot see. PTSD. As we walk in silence on our different roads, navigating through the wreckage of the streets of our heart ghettos, all I see is danger. Always danger. I do wish you nothing but the best. However, it hurts to see the mountain of our love crumble into the sea of memories as memories of your face begin to fade away. Love has torn us apart. Let's keep it 100. I hate the idea of basically cutting a wrestling promo trying to convince anyone that I'm the ideal match for them, but may the powers that be grant me this one instance, please. You see, I'm like pineapple on pizza in the way that I'm not conventionally sought after. I am an acquired taste, conceptually bizarre at first, but actually pretty damn fine. I'm the epitome of don't judge a book by its cover, but nobody is daring enough to crack me open, get to know my pages. And I don't want just anyone to break into my spine. I want your attention to be mine. I want to open your mind to the idea that I'm the perfect meshing of intelligence, insanity, intimacy, and safety. That I'm the ultra rare find, that I am one of a kind, that I am one of one, that I am the one. Acknowledge me like how my heart acknowledges you as its tribal chief of wholesome mischief. Allow my own actions the opportunity to echo my authenticity. Allow my abilities to the opportunity to prove my dedication. Allow me to be your Swiss Army knife, love, sharp, multifaceted, and full of wit. Allow me the opportunity to shapeshift for you as you see fit. When it comes to commitment, I'm all gas and no breaks with it. Yeah, know what I mean? If you are unable to see what level of potential we carry, allow me to be that paradigm shift into happiness. When you are alienated in anxiety and in need of a friendly face or voice, baby, allow me to be your grounding mechanism, smoothing out the schisms, shutting out the static in your mind. When you are feeling mad or sad when it's been a while since you've seen your smile, allow me to be the GPS that pinpoints exactly where it can be found and where it can be safe and sound. Allow me to be that drummer in your heart going into a Dyer's E frenzy with double bass pedals bumping and pumping all while moving and grooving you in ways you didn't see coming. Allow me to surprise you with a little something. Allow me to watch me create a sweet little heartbeat that you can kick it to, boo. My love language is boundless for you, and I'm ready to express that fully and true. When when life is pouring on the heat and you're in need of a helping hand, I'll be there in your corner, waiting and aching for the hot tag, willing to clean house and take whatever hits that come with it. Allow me to be your sword and shield. Allow me to be your tag team partner in life. When the world is treating you dead body cold, may my words warm your soul from the inside. As hugs and forehead kisses warm you from the outside, allow me to be your spiritual snuggie. Life has many doors. Allow me to be that master key that unlocks all the doors that tickle your fancy. Last thing I want to do is waste your time. So allow me to be time well spent.
Feral, rabid, mouth foamed, reaction to electrical neural synapse, impulse divergent, deficient peel, barren desert mange, simultaneous black and white cat crossed, trampled path, superstitious Jew, psychotronic story strange, awkward fruit, referred pink and white fairy tale forward flowers, awake and appearing free. I am Schrodinger's poet. When the time comes for me to roll down these country roads for the last time, I will certainly be already gone, waiting in between forever and never, where trunk and root meet. Frequency junction where inspiration lives, obsessed, carbon pressed propaganda drips saliva from thousand lick, lollipop lip tasted flavors indulged in slate, shade, centipede stick stuck or daisy chain necklace worn, watching candied activity parade by the edge. Suction shoal, sweet manipulation vibes kill joy in layers, forced tools to falsely portend panacea to human misery. Stop! Open the box. No sudden movement, flip book illustration angles to geometric cartoon characters bleeding for artistry, if bleeding is what the artist conceived. Creation, existential insights, evolution grown, implied, decided like a raw nerve to stand skin deep at the crossroads, in between forever and never, where trunk and root meet. Finger numb, skin punctured, scratched, bruised black, the tattoo blue, guilty stain, color track, trails left by golden mice dragging tails through an art gallery, dusty footprints in dry enamel, broken cash machine. Infestation, bitter tasted complaint, ricochet, waylay, cocksure, constraint, time continues, warping by. The dial spins and I'm tied to a post, tethered to weather-worn, splinter-rich vacuity, retained to vacillate between self-importance and emotional immaturity. Seclusion, solo reflection, contusions reveal historical abuse. See, the present day spots on my liver were paid for in advance, in cash. Forward sessions, rode hard and put up wet, bareback dressage, hydroplane passenger levitating cosmic equine, sky high, galloping ghost trotting at Chicago hot jazz speed. 5/4 time, 180 beats per minute kind. Locked in melodious, codependent, frenetic need. Shadow work fueled by frozen cream. Words sharper than any violence and variations of rhythmic nervous energy. Vibrational insecurity. Sedative, additive, psychotropic, curative, pick an adjective. Something my disease won't bastardize. Or follow the pin I dropped to the corner of Preacher Johnny Brown in the Wonderland Gap rabbit hole to present day, hemorrhaging national pride and hope along with what is left of my dignity. Zero effect, defect for defect, miles south of an interstate. An origami swan falls victim to acidic rain and flooded gutters. Poverty struck it, drowned in a shungite filtered liquid healing elixir, batch produced fixer appearing crystal clear but dirty, voodoo prismatic energy contained in radio mode obscura. I'm certain the news would blame Russia. I just missed a bird. I will migrate through the scene of that crime knowing I am by definition a superhero. Last month, the hobo queen knighted me a rubber tramp. My celebrity motivated up the scale away from pinned near zero. But today, present day, I am just plain James.